Welcome to the NBA Storyteller and guests.
Thank you. So there's like a million ways we can begin here, but the point is not about me, it's about the guests we're having on. But to frame this, We know Dennis Rodman, right? Dennis Rodman had a moment in his career, and we have a picture. Let's just show the picture. I believe this moment was when he came into himself in full. This was his moment. This was the Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman. The day he won the Defensive Player of the Year award. And I believe that the Defensive Player of the Year award in that very moment might be the most significant, important award the NBA has ever given. More than any MVP, more than any jersey retirement, maybe, more than any sixth man of the year. And it's because that award in that moment, in that context, is the award for that person. And it's all about context. And that's what we want to discuss today is the importance and the hierarchy of the NBA award when you actually look at the individual's scenarios that are possible in the context. The context and the scenarios. So, in order to cut through a lot of this stuff and get to the heart of what an award means and what it means for a very specific individual in a very specific moment, filling a trophy-shaped hole in their trophy-shaped heart. That's what we want to figure out. And by the end of the show, we're going to figure out what the most important award is. Maybe it is Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe it's the Taco Bell Skill Challenge. And we're also going to award a winner. I'm not sure if our guests know that. For whoever's the best presentation, had the most heart. So let's do that. Let's bring on our guests. We have real guests. Let's bring them on. Ian, are you a guest?
I am not a guest. I am producing the show, but I'm gonna bring on our guests. We got some wonderful people coming in tonight. So I want to welcome first. He writes about NBA and pop culture for USA Today, and at For the Win and Hoops Hype. Please welcome Brian Kelbrowski. There he is. Hi, Brian. Thanks for coming.
Brian,
we can't hear you. We're gonna need the mic unmuted.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Brian, what is your favorite NBA award?
My favorite award in general is the Mayo Bowl trophy, and that's specifically because of the way that it shattered when it was received. I think there's something very beautiful about that in the Wisconsin Bowl game they played this year. Right after winning it, the trophy just completely smothered into smithereens, and that was a beautiful moment for me and taught me a lot about how fragile life is, right? And that's the award that I think of when I think about awards.
Shattered trophies. Those are
absolutely
sometimes the best awards.
The only award that matter.
Great. Next, I want to welcome. He's got an amazing YouTube channel, Twitch channel. I think a lot of our audience already knows him. Dom2K.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Dom. What's your favorite NBA award or award in general?
Yeah, I'm a very basic man, Mr. Larry O'Brien right here. I hadn't thought about it much before I got on, but this is the only trophy I've ever gotten a replica of. I've actually went through the trouble of securing, so it's got to be that.
It's a great choice. We got Shattered Trophy and Larry O'Brien Award. All right, and then our final guest, he's written for The New Yorker, Deadspin, Vice. Please welcome Johnny Opping.
Hey.
Hey, Johnny. Thanks for coming. And what's your favorite NBA award or just award in general?
Favorite NBA award? I mean, when I started watching basketball, I was a Mavs fan right when Nick Van Exel was like in his just absolute swaggiest peak of his career. So to me, like, I knew that he came off our bench, and then it was explained to me that there's a six-man award. So like part of what the NBA was to me was like, will Nick Van Exel win the six-man year award? So like that was kind of that to me like made I did think that it was as important as the MVP for probably like the first 2 years. Watch basketball like attentively.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Welcome all our guests. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm gonna let Storyteller. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna not be here anymore. Take over, Storyteller.
I hadn't heard all of the stories. We just heard Johnny. That was awesome. Trevor can decide to give points or not today. I just wanted to say I would encourage you to give Johnny some points, but that's not up to me.
All right. That's a good answer. Hey, I'll work on it.
Did we get an answer from Trevor? I didn't hear him.
I can give out some points here.
Okay. All right. Good. Keep it to yourself. Also, audience, this is actually what we want to do. Trevor may or may not give out points. We don't have a scoreboard. I'd like you guys to try and keep track of points. Also, if you want to give people points out, just say it in the chat. We might see it, and Trevor might add them to the point total. He's playing music and counting at the same time. So, thank everybody for being on, and we're going to skip all the pleasantries. 6-man award. It's really funny because that was an extremely personal story and very heartfelt, and it's almost changed my opinion because I feel like the 6-man award is one of the more worthless awards, mainly because it seems to be hacked. You know, one or two individuals continue to win it over and over again, whether they improve or not. I feel like there's a lot of ways that it doesn't calculate an interesting result. It doesn't give us one. And I could be wrong. Johnny, what do you think about that? Defend the 6-man award.
No, I mean, that's fair. Like, I think that, so I don't know, like that Nick Van Exel, like 6-man award was such a big deal to me, and it doesn't anymore. I don't know because I'm 31 and not, 12. But also, I think like if I got like inside basketball with it could be because, the offense, there's so much offense in the NBA now, as opposed to like the game was played at like a slower pace and like with a few less scorers than on each team. So like back then, if a dude came off the bench and just like came in, just like, I'm going to shoot and I'm going to score 11 points like right now, like immediately, it was like the coolest thing in the world. So like when Nick Van Exel did it, besides just being like an awesome dude, it was like we might have had 17 points when he came in, and then we had like 36, and he's been in for 9 minutes. Whereas like when Lou Williams does that, I just like, or Jamal Crawford, or like, yeah, it does kind of seem like Lou, Jamal Crawford, whoever's going to be that guy next. Like it's, like I said, I don't know. It might just be good old day syndrome, but yeah, it doesn't mean the same to me.
That's great because you just actually triggered a little memory. And when I was just coming into basketball, being a fan, I lived in the Bay Area, Berkeley, California, and Sarunas Marciulionis was like a god, So I might actually, I don't think he ever won a 6-man of the year award. Please, everybody tell me I'm wrong. But anyway, I might actually have more of a soft spot for that award than I thought.
Well, like for me too, like the Kings were a rival. And so like Bobby Jackson was the guy who would win it instead of Nick Van Exel. And to me, like that race to 6-man was like I would not know who won MVP those years. It was just like whether one of those guys won 6-man was like the NBA championship for me.
Dom, do you have an opinion on 6-man, and why is Jamal Crawford not worth bringing on your team?
I don't have a crazy strong opinion about the 6-man of the year award itself, but yeah, when you talk about it, that's where my mind immediately goes is Jamal Crawford. I can't tell you off the top of my head how many times he won it. I just know like there was a stretch there where you knew it was going to him for probably reasons you were talking about earlier when you started this. And as far as, are you talking about Jamal Crawford like when he was with the Atlanta Hawks? Or are you talking about like Jamal now that Twitter tries to put on everybody's roster? Which Jamal Crawford are we talking?
I think the entirety. I think he's delivered the same type of, I don't know. he's like a it's like a meal. You know, each team who brings him on knows exactly. They really, in their heart, they know what they're getting. They're gonna get some excitement. They're gonna get some people. I mean, early on, I know he started for the Knicks. He had a chance, but just in the entirety, the concept of Jamal Crawford, there's something that bothers me about people believing too much in it. I really don't want to get too much into this, but yeah, that guy.
Yeah, there was a time back when we were all contending. It was like the Celtics and the Magic and the Hawks were kind of on the outside. That's around when they had Jamal Crawford, and he was scoring like a starter sometimes. Yeah, back then I would have enjoyed it at the time. I thought, of course, being a kid, I was way more impressed by offense back then as well. So it's a cool thing. But now I see the same highlight tape of him passed around like every 6 months, I would say, on Twitter, saying he needs to be on an NBA roster. These days, I'm not as enticed by it. You know what I mean? Like right now, the Celtics. I'm still a Celtics fan at this point. And a lot of teams out there that would be looking to pick up a free agent. Like, how much do they need scoring? Which I'm not sure how much you can really provide at this age. How much do they need that versus the points that you're going to be giving up? I kind of feel the same way. I'm just going to shoehorn Isaiah Thomas in there as well, because he's another one that Twitter is trying to put on a team constantly, and I don't know. But yeah. But that's kind of my ragtag thoughts about Jamal Crawford right there. I was a fan when he was with the Hawks, put it that way.
Brian, do you have an opinion on Isaiah Thomas? And here's back to our awards. Is there an award that he could have won or should have won, or in particular one that really would have solidified him as or taken him to the tier that he never quite got to? I guess there's a lot of reasons for that. What's your take on Isaiah Thomas and what he?
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Thomas could have easily been the best active player under 6 foot award. The closest thing to the best score under 6 foot award as well. I think Isaiah Thomas, I mean, while he wasn't really in a 6-man role, would probably be the closest thing that we have to the competition that I think is probably what I feel about the 6-man award overall, is just that there's guys in the NBA who could provide value as scorers, right? And Isaiah Thomas is one of them. Lou Williams is one of them. Jamal Crawford is one of them. But they can't really handle much on the defensive end. So that's why you can't put them in the starting lineup to guard James Harden and the other top, ISO-based scorers in the NBA. They're microwave scorers off the bench, and there's value in that. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jamal Crawford and Isaiah Thomas and even someone like Nick Young was able to hold their own in the NBA and make it for as long as they have, or had in some cases. And Isaiah Thomas is one of those guys who it's just like, realistically, defensively, you can't really guard the point of attack guy, the ball handler, if you've got Isaiah Thomas in that position. That is rough for all of us.
People can hear this. This is not a bit. My house is on fire. Let's see here. Oh, we're good. We're good. So, okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's where I stand on that issue. Is
somebody would just have to pick it up at this point. Probably Trevor. Let's get to some of our actual questions here. Now, just go with me here. Let's just go all the way there. Awards are a lot of time defined. It's because the moment the individual is attached to. But awards can do so much for a person's career, and they can also burden somebody. They can bury somebody under the weight of it. You never live up to it again. And so let's start here. And the goal here is I just really want to see what people's pure opinions are of these individual awards. I just want to find something human behind each of these, as opposed to the thing that we discount and overcredit a lot on YouTube, on Twitter, on whatever it is. So, Johnny, here's a question for you. What award would make you question a universally held opinion that an individual was evil? Meaning exactly what I asked.
So if a bad person, what award could they win that would convince me they're not bad?
Just make you question it. I mean,
Yeah.
and speaking universally, if everybody had already begun to believe this individual was an evil person, I don't know what that means in your head. It could mean a lot of
Sure.
things.
I mean,
What award did they just get? They could pick up in their career, the 10th year of their career, maybe the last year. You can let Johnny talk and mute me. That'd be great.
okay. I think I mean, I'm pretty sure I get the question. So either way, I'm gonna answer it the way I answered it. So I think I'll go kind of left here, and because I think like pretty awful people can like accomplish pretty impressive things. Like it doesn't make them not evil. And so the most likely award that like it'd be hard for me to question them being evil would probably be the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. Or just because it's like, I feel like it takes a degree of like seriousness and self-seriousness to be like fully evil, you know, like that, and like the sort of like chaotic positive energy of being like, I'm going to do an obstacle course that seems like really simple, like really similar to like what they designed for dogs at the like Westminster agility contest. Like nobody does that and is like, now and tomorrow I'm going to do something horrible, you know, like, so I think that if you won that award, like it might, I wouldn't like necessarily pick you to win any other basketball related awards, but like, I don't know, you're probably not evil. It would just be hard for me to like straight face be like, no. Like the guy that won the Taco Bell Skills Challenge, like he is seriously messed up. I don't know if we're allowed to curse. Yeah, he's, you know, like I'd go Taco Bell Skills.
Okay. You know, I didn't want to ask more than one person the same question, but I just need to hear, Brian, is he right?
Oh no, 100%. The thing about the Taco Bell Skills Challenge that people don't really understand, and this is true, and this is really true, is that it's always a big man going against a small man, and then eventually it's the best big person versus the best small person. That's who meets in the finals. And essentially, if you're able to win out against all the people of your size, and then against someone who's a different size than you, you're a good person, clearly, 10 times out of 10. And I just think, for Johnny's point, like I would be hesitant to push against that. And, you know, like he said, I think rehabilitation and all of that is within the realm of possibility for people, right? I think you can improve your life, and I think that winning the Taco Bell Skills Challenge is one way of doing that.
Dom, different question. But feel free to answer old questions. This is actually this is a real question I have. I've thought a lot about this. Did Kevin Durant's speech do more for his MVP award than Larry Bird's celebration when he won the 3-point shooting contest?
Oh wow, you're saying did their celebrations enhance the award? Is that the question?
Did that in that particular one, not overall, but in their particular situation, did his celebration make more of an iconic award or moment or importance in our mind, or is that Kevin Durant's speech really gonna, I don't know, does that cut through more than a Bird celebration?
Bird celebration, I mean, it's completely iconic. It's difficult though because of the eras that they happened in. Obviously, you got Kevin Durant around the time that we had NBA Facebook and whatnot, and it got memeified to, again, I don't know if we're allowed to curse on this show either, but it got memed like crazy. And I think that did it make it more legendary than his? It's also the MVP award too versus the 3-point contest, and that by itself is already a more iconic award. So, yeah, I mean the speech. You don't see it as much. I don't know. This one. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at thinking on my feet with these type of questions. But
well, it was the you're the real MVP one. So it was.
Yeah, you're the real MVP. Yeah, the one that lives on even today because of the meme. Basically, you're the real MVP. We took that, and he got angry about that basically because he said the internet doesn't care about anything after we took that really special moment and turned it into a meme format for everything for like the next 5 years. Probably 3 to 5 years.
KD's on Twitter. I've never seen KD use the app Twitter before. Twitter.com.
Hey, allegedly, you know.
I've seen burner accounts that people say might be KD. I've never
Yeah.
seen KD.
We've not confirmed it. We got clues out there, but it's never been confirmed.
He's in the comments for this.
Wanda Durant did win the MVP of the 2014 NBA season. I mean, actually, the real MVP award that season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trevor,
Oh,
does anybody deserve any points?
I like the taco challenge.
The taco challenge. Yeah, that's what it's called. The
Yeah.
taco challenge.
You got a point there.
Oh, your house is on fire too. That's great.
Yeah, gotta get that smoke detector fixed here.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's start in reverse here. Let's start. And I started off with this, and this is. You don't have to answer it literally, or like specifically, but just is there anything comparable? Is there an award that you can think of that has meant more to the individual than Dennis Rodman winning the Defensive Player of the Year award? Brian. I think I asked you, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think JaVale McGee being the first, and this is true, the first NBA player with a rat tail haircut to win an NBA championship. I don't really have any comments or thoughts on that. It clearly meant a lot to him, though, and I think that he was really grateful to be the first NBA champion with a rat tail haircut. And for that, I think that he at least challenges Dennis Rodman's general sentiment of what he meant, right? Because I think that while Dennis Rodman clearly wanted to be the Defensive Player of the Year, that's just kind of, in his blood, and that's how he plays. But to grow the rat tail and then to win the NBA championship, that's the whole process. And to that, I do respect it.
It's brave. But is there any, Dom, is there anybody in your mind that's ever won an award in the NBA where it meant that much to them in that moment?
I'm almost there. That rat tail one took me for a roller coaster, but pass this one to Johnny. I swear I'll have it when you get back. I'm almost there.
No, the thing is, if you can't think of it in the moment, you know what? There probably isn't one. It doesn't hit you right away like that. Johnny, is there somebody that pops in your head?
I mean, it means so much to the person. It's tough, but I mean, I can only go with like what it means to me, and I think that the most improved award that Monte Ellis got is, I think it's a pretty huge part of NBA history for a couple of reasons. One is like the contrast between how much it means to me and like how little it means to him. Like I assume that he still doesn't know he won that award. And then for me, like that's the best award that he could win, because like I still think he's improving. Like I still think that he's better than he was 2 years ago. And I love him so much, and if any team that signed him, I would want them to win the championship this year. And so I just like he always lives in the day after winning. He's frozen in day after winning most improved player in my memory.
I have a special place in my heart for Monte Ellis, but I don't know the version that not the one that you love potentially. I think we love different Montes.
Well, yeah.
It's weird how it works.
I'm a 2013 Monte guy, but the whole ride's been great.
Moped Monte, that's my guy. So this is is there a okay? Now we'll take this to Dom here. At what point does I don't think this is on the list here. Does a dunk contest championship start to have diminishing returns? Like the third one, the second one, after the second one, when is the peak to leave?
When is the peak to leave after winning the dunk competition? How many did Nate Robinson win in a row before he called it?
Three.
Yeah, whatever Nate did, right? Because at a certain point, I think even Vince Carter did it perfectly. He never returned after his, did he? He gave us some of the best dunks of all time and just called it quits right there. And because of that, we never that one performance was never diminished. He never came back to diminish it. Even if somebody comes back and they win the next year, but they don't do something as good as they did before. So I don't know. Maybe one is the right answer for that. Because I remember a couple of Nate's dunks, but as many times as he won it, I don't think I can pick out that many, from each performance.
I think Nate was a perfect example of the process of slicing and draining all the significance out of an award.
Yeah.
Now, Johnny, we're familiar with Dominique Wilkins. This is the guy. Okay, so I have two questions about Dominique Wilkins because I'm so fascinated with this guy because I don't know if it's his own doing or just everybody else in the world. He's known just as much for losing dunk contests as anything else in his life, right? Or that's what he's asked about painfully over and over again. And it almost brings out a desperation in him to defend himself. And sometimes the extent that he goes to, it's actually reminiscent of Dr. J. He does very similar things. The stories they talk about themselves, they tell their own tales. But here's the point. When he recently, they actually gave him a statue, right, in Atlanta. In the end, are the dunk contests going to be more important than the statue, or is the statue going to somehow hold out and I don't know, develop its meaning?
I think the statue's a lot bigger, just because if nothing else, because he only played for one team. And like I said, I'm a Mavs fan, so Dirk is just sort of could do no wrong forever here. And I think that ultimately, Dominique never won a championship, but that sort of local love lasts forever. Whereas you could be I wasn't around when Dominique was dunking and Twitter wasn't around. So people probably thought Dominique was just awesome dunking, win or losing those contests. But then as we got further removed from it, people were just that became the thing. Did you even win those? Or how does it feel to lose dunk contests? Whereas no one's gonna be saying that in Atlanta about all anybody talking about Atlanta is he was a Hawk for life and he stayed in Atlanta and all that. So that statue is only gonna become more and more part of the myth for him, would be my guess.
Okay, that's the opposite of what I would have said. So that's great. That's awesome. Brian, you're getting skipped for your rat tail answer. Let's go back to Dom.
Wait, what? That is ridiculous. I had the best answer in the entire round. You can ask Trevor.
I don't think Trevor gave you any points.
Actually,
you didn't give him an opportunity to.
It's a trophy.
Yeah. I won the round. This is absurd. I'm going to go insane.
That's up to the chat at this point, and Trevor. Is a trophy more important is a statue more important inherently than anything else? And is that local love more important than anything else?
The statue isn't just local love. You get a statue, you're immortalized. Anybody, especially this conversation we're having right here with dunk contests, and especially with what they've become, anybody can get a dunk contest trophy. Jeremy Evans has a dunk contest trophy. Jeremy Evans. You remember Jeremy Evans?
He doesn't have a statue in Utah?
Yeah. Hey, I haven't been there. I don't know. He possibly. But same thing we were just talking about with the six-man awards. Those can come and go and people will forget about it in a couple of years. But if you have a statue with the franchise, you're immortalized. So absolutely. Yeah, I don't think it can just be minimized to local love if you're a statue. Everybody's not getting one.
All right, Brian, here's your chance again. Are you familiar with the Scottie Pippen statue?
I'm familiar with the fact that it exists. I couldn't tell you who the sculptor was, or too many details about the aesthetic choices behind it. But
so my question is, who really is benefiting the most or getting the most light from their statue? Who pops in your head? Who do you think has that biggest differential between, or just who's gaining the most from having a statue?
Probably the thinking man. Are we talking about basketball?
Basketball, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that.
When I think of statues, I think of the ones near Staples Center because that's where I grew up. I'm from Los Angeles, so I like Chick Hearn's statue. He's got the microphone that makes me feel pretty cool, and that's kind of the one that I think about whenever I think about statues from a basketball perspective. Because to get a statue of yourself, despite never playing an NBA game, that's the ultimate grift, and I think that was worth celebrating.
That was well done, Trevor.
Point for Brian. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'd also like to point out that Dominique Wilkins played for 5 NBA teams.
Yeah. Trevor, do as you wish there. Take points away if you like, but or people in the chat, feel free to give points. I don't think Trevor's looking though.
I'm just a man on a mission. I got competitive when I was removed from the last round. And now I'm just trying to win this thing.
I love how the point is winning it by getting more personal. I guess whoever comes up with the tier first is really just going to win. We have a prize.
I can cry and command, no problem at all. That's easy for me.
Okay. All right. Well, I got an idea here. Where'd my question go? I got a good question for somebody here. Does crying? Let's start with Johnny. I haven't heard from Johnny in a minute. Trevor, is crying required in an iconic acceptance speech?
Like a little bit before the end. It's
All
like
right.
that last push of like emotion. I feel it's like yeah, and then that last breath before you say the last thing that you say before you walk away.
Johnny?
No, I don't think it's like. I think that I think what would be pretty, what I would enjoy is like the arc of a career that I would look back on and that I would really respect is like a player like early in his career winning like a more inconsequential award, like the previously talked about Taco Bell Skills Challenge is like crying, winning that in like your rookie year, and then like 7 years later winning MVP and just being like, yeah, I mean, who else were you gonna give this to? It just being like completely unemotional about it. I think that would be the move that would sort of like separate you and make you more iconic than just like doing what everybody else does and like pretending to be emotional about it.
That's like, it's not even a joke. There's nothing about what you said that's a joke. It's just that's true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've yet to tell a joke.
Trevor, keep tally, Trevor. This is on you, man. Nobody's gonna be mad at me. I do want to say, okay. How much? And I'll go back to Dom here. How much does it take away from an award when the sponsor company decides to slap their name right on it? Like Kia.
Yeah, I don't think it takes away from, but then again, the best awards, like my favorite being the Leroy, does not have a giant sponsor on it. It doesn't have a giant Bumble logo like the jerseys. I don't know. That's not something that's really ever crossed my mind before. The logo thing for me is really more with the jerseys. Like I like jerseys more before they had, all the different sponsors on them. I think it devalues those, but I hadn't really thought of it in terms of awards, to be honest. Because those are mostly like on the All-Star Weekend awards, right? Like the dunk contest or the 3-point. Those are where you see those.
I think they did MVP, right? Didn't somebody do MVP?
Somebody has a sponsor on there. There's a nice MVP trophy right there.
Kia, no, I guess I'm wrong, but
I could see it being like the Kia MVP. Kia Most Valuable Player sounds like a term I've heard.
So there it is.
Yeah, see, it's not on the trophy. You got it in the background and sure sponsored by. So that's what you mean by slapped on.
That's what it says. The back of his jersey says Kia.
Yeah,
it's not physically. Specifically, like I believe there's a lucite one. It's clear. It kind of looks like a business salesman of the year award. I think it's there we go. And they stick Kia right.
I've never seen that. Okay, yeah, because when they hold, I've never seen that slapped on there. So yeah, I wouldn't want a nice big Kia on LeBron's next MVP trophy or whatnot. I think it's good. I think it's good alone.
What if you literally jumped over a Kia like Blake Griffin did to win an award? That's something, right?
Then it's almost necessary for the moment.
I mean, he literally got to jump over a Kia while acquiring.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
something.
Come on.
The further away I get from that moment, the more I actually respect it.
Yeah, how so?
What do we have? Someone said seeing the Subway CEO hand out the big dunk contest trophy sucks to see. Yeah, that's always a weird moment. They bring some CEO out there and they hand the trophy over. They should oh, there we go. That's back when it was the Sprite slam dunk.
Ah, yeah.
Sprite.
You
not
could
as
have
fun.
dunk it over a Sprite would be less impressive.
Okay.
Slight.
So let's keep going. We're almost at the climax of the show, which are our 4 scenarios. I've learned a lot, actually, in this, and I'm not even joking about this. The Skills Taco Bell Challenge today, when we started this process, it was a joke in my mind. And there's been more meaning extracted out of that award in the past 35 minutes than I think in any discussion in the past 16 years. So
I think Johnny gets credit for that one.
I appreciate. Wait,
When you're
what do we have
passionate
here?
about something.
Let's see. Also, I do hold Baron Davis partially responsible, mostly responsible for that dunk over the Kia and where it was positioned. I mean, Blake
He was
could have
in the-
gone a
he
little
was in
more
the
wider
center,
with his
right?
arms out. He could have reached for it. He could have really centered himself and just got it. But I mean, he went where the ball was. I don't know if that makes him good or bad, but let's just do this. Let's get to our scenarios. And this is really where we're going to pit 2 awards against each other in a very specific scenario. And in order to do that, let's bring on our producer, Ian. But before he starts talking, Trevor, where are we?
In terms of points,
Sure. Just conceptually. Like,
conceptually, I think we're doing great. Let me see. Johnny, I think you got a few more points. Brian going strong. Dom, I think you're gonna snatch it from behind. So let's see how this next round goes. Well, I'll keep the music going here too.
okay, now this is a fun one because we actually have 4 scenarios. We're going to do one specifically for the audience. That's going to be great. All right, but we'll do that last, right? Yeah, let's start. Unless we're supposed to do something else. Ian, what are we supposed to do? Is he muted? He's muted. He's still muted.
Okay,
There we are. All right, good.
here we go. Yeah, we're going to do 4 scenarios, and the last one's going to be for the audience. So whoever's watching, please keep watching. We're going to give each contestant, we're going to call them, a scenario. And in that scenario, which award better fits. So the first scenario is going to go to Johnny. And we can't write this one on screen. It's a bit too long, so just pay attention. I'll try to talk as slowly as possible. All right, Johnny. Johnny, you are a detective, and you are called to a gruesome crime scene. It appears to be a robbery gone wrong. The one survivor whom you suspected was dead grabs your hand and with surprising strength pulls you towards the gurgling hole ripped next to his mouth. In a gravelly mumble, he says they took my most improved... In a gravelly mumble, he says they either took one of these awards. He says they took my most improved player award or my slam dunk championship trophy. Which one makes you more determined to solve this case?
I thought you might ask this. Okay, so which one kind of like lights a fire under me? That's like, if I knew that's what they came there to take, if they robbed a slam dunk winner or a most improved winner, which one like motivates me to solve the case more and bring justice to this?
Exactly.
I would say most improved. I would say like for 2, like alternating, like for 1 on the most improved side, I'm picturing this as like a reigning most improved player, meaning like his future is ahead of him and it's bright. And so you gotta, it's like he's been, murdered or nearly murdered. And, so we're being robbed of this great career that's to come. But then, and then from the dunk side of things, it's kind of like, I don't know, we've been talking about the dunk contest and it hasn't like made me more. It's like, I feel like it's mostly been a bummer. Like, I love Vince. I think Vince is awesome. And Jason Richardson was awesome. But like, I think that if you have won or even competed in a dunk contest, there's like a 77% chance that you're corny. Like just think about the winner. Like think about, like just picture a dunk contest winner and like what they are concerned about. Not just like in the dunk contest, but just like imagine what Zach LaVine cares about. Dwight Howard. Like, and so if I'm in that scenario, it's not that I would do my job, but it's also like, okay, this is kind of like, open and shut case. Like they were targeted for their corniness. And so it's going to be really hard to solve this because like everybody thinks they're corny. That would be that's the best answer I can come up with.
Is it corny to get murdered?
Is it? I don't know. That's not for me to decide.
Well, I think we need to ask Trevor. Trevor, what is your consensus on Johnny's answer?
Is it corny to get murdered?
Well, I'm not sure if that's exactly what.
Who's to say?
I'm not saying corniness. I'm not saying the crime of corniness is punishable by death. I'm just saying that people don't like corny people as much as they like people with potential.
I think we've shifted to a conversation about whether or not it's corny to get murdered, or
wait, are you saying that I didn't answer this like
no, you
very
answered.
straightforward?
The thing is, you actually did answer the question.
Right?
You did, but we've somehow shifted. Trevor, Johnny's response was that he would solve this case if the person who's basically dying said that he wanted a most improved player award as opposed to a slam dunk championship trophy. So which one, Trevor, based on that answer, would you give Johnny your +1 with the fire behind it?
I think most improved. I think I can get on board with that. That was what you chose, right?
Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
There it is.
Maybe a little lightning.
All right. Let's see. Let's go. Where are we going next, Ian?
All right. So
Brian is ready.
Next, we got Brian. Glad you're ready. All right. Next scenario, Brian. You had a terrific upbringing. You know your parents, but one night in a Topeka, Kansas bowling alley, a man gives you a note that reads, "I am your father. I am a good person and worth your time. Unfortunately, I've made some mistakes. The night I spent with your mother is not one of them. It was also the night I won It was the same night I won the NBA Executive of the Year or the Sportsmanship Award. Now, which one of those two motivates you to get coffee with this man?"
Oh boy, this is triggering for me because something strangely similar happened to me in Wichita, not too far. So it is hard for me to hear some of this stuff.
Oh my God.
But I will say, just speaking candidly, I think we all know that NBA executives can be snakes. I think that's not a hot take per se. And for me, just in order to really fully understand the situation, I think we have to think about the year that I was born and kind of look at or 9 months before the year I was born and kind of see who those guys were. to really figure out the situation here. But I don't really have the ability to do that at the moment with the resources in front of me. Realistically, I do think I'm going to have to go with the executive of the year because while the sportsman of the year may have been a nice person, I already know who I am, right? I know who I am, and I don't need a good sport who decided to leave me and my family and abandon me. But the executive, I'm a sports journalist. I need that relationship. I need his connections or her connections. And I need to really get to know, potentially, if they have a lot of money, how I'm able to get some of that money as well. Because in the pandemic, especially, I think a lot of us are facing hard times. So I think the executive is going to be the one who's going to pay for my coffee. And I'm going to get an extra shot of espresso. I'm going to enjoy it. And I think the executive of the year made some good basketball decisions. Maybe I could pick his brain about maybe some of the things that went into how he assembled his roster, what the acquisitions look like, and how he kind of assembled the pick and roll duo he operated that year. So whatever that might look like, that's the guy I'm going to get coffee with for sure.
Great. So we have executive of the year because you believe your career will go a lot further with that person than the sport, the sportsmanship. So Trevor, did Brian, did he choose correctly?
And let me just influence this a little bit here. I feel like I went for a little bit of a ride there, and it was right on the edge of not taking it seriously enough, and then making an extremely poignant amount of sense. And I feel like you took me on a twist. There's like 3 loops there where I was on against you, then on your side, and then against you, but I still understood by the end. Anyway, Trevor, please.
I feel like I was on a similar roller coaster there too. Up until right when you started, you brought reality into it. Like our things there. It's like I kind of can't argue with that. It's a good point. So I think I'm gonna give you a little lightning here, some points. I think that was pretty solid.
That means a lot, Trevor. Thank you.
Very good, Brian. Thank you, Trevor. All right.
Doesn't work here.
Our final guest.
Trevor can't hear you. He can't even hear you. All right. Please, Ian.
Trevor's just doing his own thing. All right. We got our final guest scenario. Dom, this one's for you. All right. Here we go. It's a longer one. You are dead, and were recently mentioned on the local news, briefly preceding a feature segment about an intellectually advanced Punxsutawney Phil. You played 5 years in the NBA. You were fine, but never did much. You retired and existed for the next 20 years working odd jobs here and there. The news can only mention you briefly due to the ratings potential of the intellectually advanced Punxsutawney Phil segment. So the news will mention only the award that you won. Now, which award would you rather define your briefly mentioned legacy? As the highlighted award of this show.
We didn't plan this. Yeah.
The Taco Bell skills competition, or the rookie versus sophomore game MVP. Again, so this is which award would you rather define your briefly mentioned on the news legacy? Taco Bell skills competition or rookie versus sophomore game MVP?
Any day before I came on the show, I would not have taken this question seriously. I had no clue that the Taco Bell skills, winning the Taco Bell skills challenge, apparently would make me a good person. Would it only make me a good person if I was big? Was that the point that he made? Do I have to be a sinner to be a good person if I've won this? We had that conversation there at the beginning. But see, the problem with that is I just think anyone outside of a friend Brian here or John, they're going to see this. They're going to see me on the news. They're going to think I'm a good person. Those two. And I love that. But I think the rest of everybody else, the rest of the NBA world population is going to think it was a joke to mention that in my in my tribute. I think it gives off those vibes those same vibes of like a couple of weeks ago they had CJ McCollum up there with like a bunch of all-stars, like all-stars, all NBA, MVP. Then it said like 26 points a game. I just feel like it gives off those same vibes. I'm gonna have to go the rookie of the year because even you're all sitting here. You love basketball. You love the NBA. I'm not sure how much you could tell me about previous skills challenge. Like through the last 10 years, I don't know if I can name a winner. I'm not sure if I can. There he goes. See, I knew he was going to get it. He's quick on yeah, he gets a point for that. Okay, sans Brian. Like I said, sans these two. Sans these two, right? Brian and Johnny. Sans these two. You might remember me though from the rookie and sophomore game, from Kyrie Irving crossing Brandon Knight. It might influence you to go look at my rookie highlights. I might get a clickbait video out of this from someone on NBA YouTube of what happened to my legacy and whatnot. So I'm good because if I won that, then apparently I had some potential, but then I only lasted 5 years. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the rookie. But for Brian and Johnny, I do feel bad we're leaving them out of this with the skills challenge because they would be enamored to see that mentioned in my death, my tragic death.
It's a good argument. Trevor, you're the decider.
Wait, so I'm gonna
Emil, sure. Yeah.
It's like the reality in that answer is what I appreciate because of course the easy thing to say was it was easy for everybody who's been paying attention, watching this. You almost would have been playing in the crowd. It's something you would have assumed as an ending, right? Like that seems like a nice button-up ending to the whole show. But no. In reality, out of this little bubble here, it doesn't have that meaning. Trevor, please.
Yeah, I feel like you almost gave two answers there.
Really?
One for each audience. All right.
I hedged it.
So I think I'm gonna give. I think I got two there.
Awesome.
Bonus
I can
points.
lead now.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Well,
I'll take it.
we have all our guests, and Trevor, you have the tally, right? You have the tally of the guests' points.
Also, we got the chat. They've given out points. I assume Trevor's kept track of everything.
Yes,
so.
Trevor. But you can also, we'll figure that out. But before we reveal this, the final tally for the guests, who won this scenario competition, we want to ask the audience, all of you guys on YouTube watching, we're going to ask you a scenario question, and we're going to see the comments, and Trevor's going to decide who has the best comment, the best decision, and best argument from this last scenario. So audience, this is your scenario. You just got out of jail. 20 years went quicker than you expected it would. You are now part of a nationally known rehab program. What award would you rather have already won given that situation? The Rookie of the Year or the Coach of the Year?
And just to be clear, folks, you won this award before you went to jail. Yeah, I've seen it.
It wasn't after you came out of jail.
Or in jail.
Or in jail.
While you're in jail.
I mean,
Correctly.
what a question, right?
And I should say, and why. So if you're on YouTube seeing this, you should give some type of reason, however brief, just because we need a reason. We need an argument.
So I would like to hear what people think, but we're going to give the audience a second to answer that question. I don't know the answer to this. I really want to know, Trevor, who won. And I really don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that question. Who won the show today?
Well, been thinking about a lot of the answers, a lot of the dimensions, the thoughts that I heard, and there is a particular answer that I feel like brought many different dimensions to what they said. So, yeah, I think Brian.
Oh!
I appreciated that pragmatic and extremely thorough answer with different examples of different situations, different lifestyles. So you win.
Okay, I gotta say something here. I can't override this. Trevor's the one person that I can't veto here. I feel like it was almost a setup. I think it's like he set, it was like a little bit of a story. It was a narrative there. The rat tail answer, it didn't sit with me well. It didn't show any sort of commitment or seriousness in this moment, but he got there and showed sincerity. And I mean, I'm not even joking. This is all serious, which is the best part of all this. And I appreciate it. I don't know if it was intentional, but it was the thing that you did.
The question was very specifically, who did it mean the most to? I don't have comments or thoughts on Jamal McGee's hair, but I know how much it meant to him.
Trevor can take things away.
That wasn't trying. That was my impression of all of this. So, I do like a narrative, and I do think I had a little bit of a wrestling heel turn at some point during this, specifically with the host. And man, what a night, huh? I know that there are people in my living room waiting with goggles and champagne that are just going to be pouring all over me in the next however many minutes.
Drown them.
Yeah,
and the point of all this, and I want to give Johnny and Dom a quick second to just reflect on whatever that was important to them this evening. But there is a winner. There's a winner person, but then there's also an award that won the night based on all of this. And I'll reveal that as the very last thing that happens here on this show. No. I'll do that, and then we'll read some comments or something like that. Ian, when am I supposed to do that? Is it now?
Well, we did want to reveal the best, the answer to the audience question. So, Trevor, who won the audience question?
Well, actually, here is. I don't know if you guys, Brian and Johnny and Dom, if you can scan the chat, if you can even see it.
Oh, yeah.
If there's any particular answer that you liked.
Yeah, I like the one about the guy going into this. He said that he would win Rookie of the Year, and then with so much life in front of him, he could still come back and go and drop 50 points per game in China. That's a very realistic possibility from a Rookie of the Year. I think a lot of guys who won Rookie of the Year but didn't have a chance to really stick around, could still have a great career in China and potentially have statues made of them, Stephon Marbury type beats. So that's something that I definitely feel is the best answer, is the person who spoke to the idea of being a young rookie, going to China, dropping 50 points, winning the championship, and really having that redemption arc. I love redemption arcs, and that's one that I fully believe in.
Great.
Okay.
Johnny and Dom, do you see any audience comments that?
I like the one that was there was one that was saying like rehab or like post jail programs, post prison programs are full of people that like are looking to be coached, and so they want to be a coach. That's like a really like sweet, nice answer of like, yeah, like we gotta help each other out. Like those coaching skills would be good. They'd listen to me, so I respect that.
Great.
That's a wrong answer.
Genuine.
Wait, Dom, please go ahead.
I mean, somebody here thought about it very practically. They said Rookie of the Year because it's easier to justify my going to prison as a young person mistake. If you win Coach of the Year, you shouldn't be doing anything that gives you 20 years in jail. I think it's very practical.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're a 65-year-old man coaching people committing crimes. I don't know what you're gonna say on the other end of that. To be like, I'm rehabilitated now.
Yeah, I think so. Ran out of time there.
Yeah. So it's not my choice. Trevor gets to pick the comment, right? That's what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Dom's comment about not being, but yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be a coach and then do like a B&E type situation or something after your game. I mean, hopefully not Rookie of the Year, but it seems worse. So that makes sense to me.
Do we find that comment? Do we know who wrote it?
Let's see who's the user so we can highlight them. Let's see.
I saw the comment come up. It was John. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. John Gonku.
Oh yeah, there it is. John. Yep, here it is. John Gonka.
There we go.
Is our winner. Trevor, can we have the +1 and fire to go
yes.
along with John Gonka's comment? Good job, John Gonka.
That's awesome.
Congrats,
That's great.
John.
We'll get somehow John's contact because I'm gonna send him a prize. I don't know what it is though. Maybe it'll be this small little maybe it'll be one of these guys. Who knows? But there is another prize. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can pull this together. If John wants it. Listen, I have a person who is entirely too kind, and he works in audio, and he built a microphone and named it the Storyteller. This is a version of it that I'm using here, and I'm going to give away a microphone to Brian and to John. Hopefully he wants it. I'd love to give one away to all of you guys, actually, because then you could use it, or maybe not. But anyway, we only have one or two of them, and Brian's getting it. I hope you use it, Brian. I like the Yeti, but it's a good mic. It's gonna be a good mic. I'll have more promotion on it when there's more of them, but maybe one day they'll actually be made. Who knows? I don't really want to do too much self-promotion right now, even though I should. Even though Ian
That's
tells me I
amazing.
should.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. It's like actually for real. You're gonna get a microphone. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, and I'll show it to you later. But it's similar to this one. There's a little case and everything. I don't know where the guy. He might be rich. I don't know what his deal is. He's a fan of the show. He's like, I want to build a mic, and he actually did it. Like a year later, he came to my house, and he said, "Let's make them." So anyway, thank you guys each. Please quickly, or take as much time as you want. I got all night. I know you guys don't. What about this show did you enjoy? Anything that you learned from another a guest member, from Trevor? Something that's going to stick with you. Johnny.
Oh, what I learned? Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Or
I
just
just
something that stuck with you, something that you might actually remember 25 years from now when you're out of jail.
I mean, Trevor is really talented. I think that's probably a thing that, like, when I mean, everybody here is really talented, but in a way I wasn't expecting. So yeah, that's probably the thing. Like when I walk into the living room and my girlfriend's like, "Oh, how did that thing go?" I'll probably immediately be like, "Oh, it was really rad. They had this dude playing violin and like strumming it." That's like top of mind. But it's just dope to see, people having fun with the NBA and like not taking it too seriously, but also being respectful of everything and knowing what they're talking about. I think it's cool that it's dope that y'all are doing this, and it was fun to be part of.
Thank you, genuinely. As much as I don't want to give Brian the final word, I begrudgingly will. I'd rather give it to Trevor or Dom, because I've known Dom the longest, and I mean the voice. I've followed Dom's voice forever. Is there anything from the show that you will stick with you?
I'm definitely taking the Skills Challenge Award with me, like for life. I've never gained so much respect for an award in, what was that, about 30 minutes that I had no respect for coming in. And I think it's going to be my goal from here on my podcast to interview the last 10 Taco Bell Skills Challenge winners, because throughout the day, it's just, and it's Taco Bell too. Yeah, absolutely. It's a life-changing experience.
I'm right in the middle of that. Right in the middle of this. There's the sincerity. I hear it. Yeah. Thank you very much. By the way, thank you, Brian. Just go ahead. Say the perfect thing for this moment.
I had a great time. It was a lot of fun to meet all of you. I had never met any of you before tonight, and so getting to know you all and chatting about sports, and it's going to be really hard for me to go into my living room and not have Trevor playing. It's going to be really strange. Like I'm going to have to put Trevor's like backing track on my watch TV or something. But it was really fun. I mean, it's usually when I'm asked to do basketball podcasts or radio spots, they're nothing at all like this, and I prefer if they were more like this. So happy to do it again sometime, and hopefully, get to know you all more as well. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed reading the comments too, and kind of following everybody's reactions to everything that's happening. So it was awesome. It was a great night for sure.
Sincerity, man. This is real. I appreciate all of this. I mean, I it's always been there this whole time. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, let's send these guys home. Thank you. They all have audiences. I don't know if we can. We're gonna stick your stuff up on the screen somewhere for our little intimate crowd here. But thank you guys all. Bye. I'll talk to you guys later.
Take it easy.
Thanks for having me.
Send them on, Ian or Kurt. Kurt, there we go. Brian stuck around. He figured out a way to stick around. All right, Trevor. That was fun, right? That was something.
Oh, that was great. Yeah. Great
I've picked, this isn't anticlimactic, and I've tried to figure out every reason I could to not pick this award as the winning award of the night. But in the hierarchy of awards, it has some significance. If you can really you can pull the significance out through context and specifics and humanness, then it's a significant award. And I think I might enjoy this award next year. And who knows, because they're not going to play this year, right? By 2022, when they have maybe we can make this Taco Bell Skills Challenge a serious thing. Who knows? Maybe that'll be like our little campaign. And that is it. That is my choice. Number 2, bam, for the award of the night, the Taco Award. Long live the taco. All right, Ian. Let's wrap this thing up. Kurt, you've been great. Trevor, thank you again. I think we've done plenty for the night, and we're not bringing this thing to an hour and a half. Let's shut it down. You got it, Eric. Zip, Chest, Ty, and thank you for everybody on Patreon. We were going to have a Patreon guest on, actually, and we're going to start doing that. We're going to bring these people on. Patreon there's lifeblood in it again. Trust me. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Just like and subscribe. Yeah, like the video, like it, and spam the guests. Make sure that they're attached to this show for the rest of their life. This is the award that they should all be known for when the detective is leaning over them, their last moments. There it is. All right, guys, for real. That's the end, I think.